Okay, guys, it's saying I have full bars, that I am ready to go. So let's see if I can make this work today with this Facebook Live. I haven't done any new videos lately, so I I thought I would stop and do a little soap dough making, bring you guys along. Oh, a little pink in there. We'll see if it works. These are the soap doughs I've made, or soap books I've made so far. This one has a little key on it. I did black covers. And what I did is I took my soap samples that I couldn't actually give out as samples, and I chopped them up in 3/4 inch by 1 inch little rectangles, and I'm making covers for them. My purple's a little sticky. I don't normally work on this ruler, but I wanted to be able to cut really straight lines. And so in order to do that, I got my clear ruler out. I'm trying to keep it kind of long and rectangular. I'm shocked it's still working. That's a miracle, because it really hasn't lately, you guys. It has been a huge pain to try to do videos lately. Just getting a teeny tiny bit of cornstarch. Okay. Roll it out one last time. Make sure it doesn't stick. There you go. Yeah, it looks like I'm only going to get one good row out of this. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use these for samples or if I'm just going to use them as actual embeds for the top of the soap. Not totally sure yet. I don't know if I showed you guys, I got my containers in for my soapy cupcakes. Oops. For my soapy cupcake. They're super cute. That's for the smaller, and this one's for the larger ones. I'm really excited about it. Let's see. We'll do you. Okay. So first thing is do is decide which side I want to be inside, which side I want to be outside, and then I take my little knife and I make my little pages. If you want another example of how to make a big version of soap dough books, go to Sorcery Soaps. She makes them way better than I do. Like way better than I do. And this just makes the little pages. And then I'm going to score it. Bring my knife in so that I don't cut myself. Okay, make sure I'm holding it the right way. And I'm going to line it up to make sure that I'm getting the right size. Whoop. Use a little bit of water as my glue. I use neons to color it, so it has a little bit of a speckle to it because of that. Okay, I'll line up my edges, press just a little bit, and then roll it, and then press again. And then I want to make sure all of my edges are covered and lined up. Oops, I'm out of frame, sorry. And making sure all those edges are covered. Now, depending on what I'm doing, like for the first couple of books, I just cut them all out the same size and then I rolled the covers on. But this was just as easy. And then you have your book, and to add details, I put a little spine on it. Like so. And then to add even more detail, I take a little stamp. I initially thought about doing letters on the covers of each, but without knowing people's names that will get the soap, you know, they may not want one with a specific initial. So I put cute little stamps on them. Okay, let's use you. Oops, estimating my size. Just scoring it. So there's something for me to press the soap dough to, because these soaps are cured already. So I want to make sure that everything sticks well together. Okay, and then little lines. And it happened again, guys. We disconnected. If you don't want to do this, you know, go into this kind of detail, you can always find a top of the soap already has some pretty good detail to it, and that replaces your having much detail in. I still add little page lines to it, but you don't always have to if you have the right edge. Okay. I'm putting a very tiny bit of water on my brush each time. And then roll it. Press it. I've got little bits of cornstarch, which always frustrates me, but it's my fault because I'm not using a little pouch to hold the cornstarch. I'm just adding it. Okay, trim my edges. go. But this just turned out to be a really good way to use up these soap scraps that I didn't have any other use for. And press, and that will make it more curved. Like that. You can always add a little more water if you need to, but it's not always necessary. And then take, let's do a locket. Line it up and press it in. And then there's the little locket on the book. I'll do one more and then I'll show you how let's see, is this going to be big enough? Roll it out a little bit. Okay, I can play with that. Just scoring it so that it will stick. Be careful not to cut yourself. I have done that before. It's not fun. I'm making my little page marks. Sometimes you do end up with little pieces that pop off. It just adds character. Actually, I think I want this side to be the outside. Then you have your little page ridges. Wet it. Yeah, I want that to be my outside edge. Press, roll, and then I'm going to form it around so that it meets that edge. Just like that. This is the center of a Q-tip, by the way. It just happened to be the perfect size, so I cut the fuzzy ends off and used it. You can also use a toothpick. I just didn't happen to have one. Let's see, we're going to use a key on this one. I feel like I moved. Oh, no, I didn't. Good. There's the little key. And then let me grab a little shimmer. And let's use you. Get a tiny bit of shimmer. And I can paint it in dry like that just to add a sheen to it. Or let's see if I can grab some gold. Yeah. Get a little bit of Maya gold. Does not take much. And get a little bit on your finger and you can just rub it in and give it that kind of a varnished, is that the word? Varnished look to it. Give it a little age as well. Now you could do that with the pages too if you get it wet, and then you just run it down the sides of the pages. Let's see if I can do that on a different one. A couple of drops. And you and just run it down the pages like so. And you can have kind of a shimmer to your page edges as well. And if you use alcohol, it dries really, really fast. But like on the pink with the hearts, I can use the purple that I have here and just kind of rub that in, and it makes everything shinier. It makes it show through better. So then you can see your stamp a little bit better. Try this one. This one says always, but you couldn't see it before. But if I paint it on, you can, and then I can take a little piece of paper towel and rub over the top, and that will clean away most of the outside paint and leave always nice and gold. But yeah, there are lots of fun ways that you can decorate and do fun things. If you make them bigger, you can make little edge pieces to go on the corners. There's all kinds of fun things. And I'm just doing these in a bunch of different colors. Wrap up my soap dough really, really well. Make sure there's no air in it. Let's do orange. There we go. Phew. Oh, excuse me, I had to sneeze. Sneezed in my elbow, not in my soap. I know, I took my hands away. Sorry. Okay, it just needs the tiniest bit. Sometimes I'll take my paintbrush and just paint it on. And then that gets even less in the soap. Right, let me flatten out my edges. And roll it out. What I'm trying to do is get a 2-inch width, because then I can use more without having to scrap so much. I mean, it's not a big deal to have to remold it, but I would rather just get as close to the size as I want out the gate. Almost. It's a little bit sticky. Haha, there we go. Please don't have stuck. And it did. Darn it. It's because I'm using this. It's not the soap dough, it's the ruler. It has some little invisible ridges in it that grip. And I am not wanting to move it because I want the lines and I need to find an actual gum paste cutting mat specifically for that purpose. Okay. This. Here we go. Right there. Now, if I were making bigger version of this, I would actually make the covers a little bit bigger than the pages. Just because that's how books really are. But as these teeny tinies, I just make them the same size. And let's use you because you look like an old book. Do you see how it already has character? So it's not fully necessary to add any other character to it, because it looks like an old book with beat up pages. Now I will still add edges. Yeah. Okay. This way. Line up my edge, press just a little bit so that it will adhere, roll along the edge, and press. And then I can take and either trim it straight down, and that will give the cover of the book a little bit more width, so it just really looks like those pages are done in over time. Or I could have cut it along with the pages and made it look as though the book and the pages have withered together, almost like somebody dropped the book in water. And the whole thing warped. Let's see, are you too big? Let's see. Do it that way. Okay. There we go. Now you can also dip your stamps into mica and then stamp it, and it will just stamp the mica directly in. But I usually tend to decide on my colors after I've finished. to see what matches best with what I'm doing. Okay, let's do some dark pages. I have the little bit of glitter that was on top. I kind of wish I had it all the way around. Sorry, it was a notification on my phone, you guys, for My Virgin Kitchen, which is Barry Lewis, and he cooks and he does gadget reviews and all kinds of cool stuff. I'm a huge fan of any kind of cooking. Sorted foods is super fun. I really like those guys. My daughter calls them the cooking boys, and whenever they have a new video, we have to sit down and watch it together. It's kind of like mother-daughter time. And that's pretty cool. Anything that can make a teenage daughter want to hang out with her mom, that's like a mini miracle. Okay, fixing my corners. They're a little bit large, so I gotta pull a little bit off of there. I have a little piece of orange colorant right there. Oh, that's something you can do too. You want to give it a leather texture. Take your paper towel, make sure you get one that has ridges in it, and you can kind of press it in, and it adds that tiny bit of texture to make it look like leather. Giving the edges just a little bit of a ridge to the edge of the book. A little bit of texture. This is basically playtime for me, you guys. I am fooling around with designs, texture, what I do and don't like, because these are just little testers and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet. I don't like to waste things, so for me it's always easier when I can make soap into something else that's usable, that people will enjoy. You can see that little bit of sparkle there. Let's do hearts. Okay, I'm going to use you. No, you. Yeah. I'm sorry that it keeps kind of getting blurry. It's because I keep moving far and away. Completely my fault. Let's do it this way and put my little ridges in. Pull those excess pieces off. And I'm trying to fan it so that they go in the same direction that the book pages would go. There. Okay. Find my ends. Line it up. Orange book, orange pages. Oh, that one doesn't take much at all. Look at that. The only bad thing about this one is that the pages aren't as thick as the book, technically. That's the cover of the book, sorry. I think these turned out really super cute. Okay. Put this back with the rest of the orange. Wrap it up really, really well. And then I have a baggie that they all go in. Okay, guys, this will be the last one. Because I think my internet is about to start doing weird things. I am watching, looks like the screen starts to try to freeze up and then stops. So I don't know. Okay, put my little pages in. Don't forget to like it, share it, follow me, hit that little subscribe button and the little bell next to it. If you want to see more videos, I do live videos and actually record videos as well. I've got quite a few videos that are already out there that you could binge watch if you wanted. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all under H&P Artistry. Okay, let's line this one up like so. Roll it, press it. Get it nice and pressed in. Okay, I'm going to trim the cover. Just like that. Press in to make the spine. Press the other one to make the back spine. And then how about a locket for the front? Just like that. And then there we have our little book with our little pages ready to go. All right, you guys, this is Heather from H&P Artistry wishing you luck, love, and a really great day. Bye, guys.